Oh, hello. This is a rare excursion into SW1, and this is Pimlico Road on a nice sunny Saturday morning in mid-August. This is what's it called, the Prince Arthur. Now, I used to live in this area years and years ago, from the year 2000 to 2002. I'd moved from Leytonstone to Pimlico, even though I was right next to Chelsea Barracks, as was. So this used to be my sort of local area for a little while, which was quite nice. I had the King's Road not that far away, and yes, it was all very strange. I explained to my friends who I'd known when I'd been living in the Leytonstone area in North East London that I had gone from sort of muck to diamonds overnight, and they said to me, one of my friends said, "Don't let it affect you, Mark." Didn't really, but it made a change. So I thought I'd just point out a few things. Now, if I'm right, this building here, which is now called Bonadia, it's some kind of restaurant or something, or a shop, posh shop. This, if I'm right, was the let's get it to wide. Well, we are in wide. This should have been the studio for Lord Snowdon, or Anthony Armstrong-Jones, the photographer, before he became Lord Snowdon. So I think it's either that one or one of the other ones down here. But also you've got this lovely piece of signage here for the Sunlight Laundry. Best work, popular prices, prompt delivery. That is an original sign. And that will date from, what, the 1910s, 1920s, 1930s? So it's not fake, that's original. Proper old enamel sign. You can see it is, because see that aging there. Anyway, onwards and upwards, or alongwards. St Barnabas Primary School and Nursery. Now, what prompted me to think I'll do a video, because it's quite nice down here, very posh. I remember that the building over there that says bedrooms on it, it's a white building, that used to be called the Orange Tree, and it was a pub. It's called the Orange now, but no, it is still a pub. But it was also had a microbrewery, so I don't know whether they still do or not. So I used to live, bus perfectly timed there, I used to live down that way there in what was called Wellington Buildings, which is a Peabody apartment block that was put up in the 1890s. Yeah, and I lived there from 2000 to 2002. So we've got a market going on here. Didn't used to have this when I lived here. It's all gone, it always was quite posh. I'm not going to bother filming in there because people would get upset. I'll try and cross the road. There is a zebra crossing. Yeah. Yeah, she's all got a bit. I remember someone getting quite upset because there used to be a cafe, yeah, basic cafe, greasy spoon cafe down on this run here, and then it became a Starbucks. See, this is all new. I think this is a builder's merchants. I mean, we are talking now. What's that? 26 years ago. 24 years ago since I left. Yeah, it was builders merchants. It was they've called it Newson's Yard. I think it was Jewson's, I can't remember now. Yeah, it lost all contact with any kind of normality, and it just became completely posh. Over on that other side of the road there used to be a supermarket, well, not a supermarket, convenience store that I used to use, and it was quite expensive then, but that's gone. It's gone completely gentrified. See, Pimlico wasn't actually, strange enough, always posh. It's just got posher. It's just got more expensive. I mean, even the flipping Starbucks is gone. So yeah, even that's not posh enough now. But I mean, down this end there was a lot of, I mean, Linley's. See, there's the interesting thing. Linley's is Anthony Armstrong-Jones stroke Lord Snowdon's son. Okay, and that's his interior decoration shop. And that was there when I was here, so that's been there a long time now. But yeah, it's just completely out of touch posh now. I mean, you know, if you haven't got any money, what are you doing down here? Unless you're just passing through. But it did used to be some normal shops down there. But it's just bonkers now. It's completely and utterly posh now. Completely, and I say posh, it's not, it's just money. It's just really lots and lots of money. And that hasn't been helped by the fact that they redeveloped the barracks into extremely expensive apartments. But architecturally, it's nice still. The seagull just cruises overhead. It's lovely Victorian apartment blocks. And strange enough, this one you're looking at here is almost certainly Peabody. And if it's not Peabody, it's Guinness Trust. So these are actually, they're not necessarily for posh people. These are people who are on low income. Still just hanging on. Look at this. So this shop was closed, whatever it was. And then we have the Pimlico Road. It's not enough to be called Pimlico Road, and it's now the Pimlico Road. And Grosvenor is the Grosvenor estate that owns it all. That is Holbein Place. I presume it has some link with the painter Holbein. And here we are. This is what used to be Chelsea Barracks. All this. And these railings are the original railings, and if they're not, they've been reconditioned. But yeah, you couldn't get in here because it was posh, for want of a better word. Now I remember when I lived, I guess I better take you down there anyway, because I've got this far and I'm unlikely to put it to camera again. When I lived here, when it was Chelsea Barracks, and it was the home of the Welsh Guards and the Irish Guards, and they had a mascot there, and it was the dog, and it was an Irish wolfhound, and they used to dress it up and put like a coat on it. Lovely thing, not fierce at all. You know, Pimlico Road, and they used to have parades out the front. So it was nothing like this. It was just complete. There was pulled back from the road, and it was a parade ground. So I say these railings are original. Over on this side is the Chelsea Hospital, which is the home of the Chelsea pensioners. But so, I mean, it was always very nice with the trees. It was the London plane trees, but you didn't have that. There was an entrance in, which was some way down here. But they used to even land helicopters into the parade ground. So I remember when I'd moved in, and I'd been there for a few months, and I thought, what the heck's that? And it was like a police helicopter coming down. It was not police helicopter, a military helicopter. I thought, that's getting a bit close. And it was a Navy Seeking helicopter that was coming down. And I was like, my goodness. Army Museum. And then the next morning I went past, and there it was, sitting in the parade ground. A Royal Navy Seeking helicopter, military helicopter. So yeah, it's a bit bonkers. There you can see as we zoom in. Royal Hospital, Chelsea. So yes, I used to have a shop. There was a Safeways, which Safeways have gone now. There was a Safeway supermarket, and I remember shopping in there. That was my nearest supermarket, affordable supermarket. And I remember on one occasion I was in there, and a guy behind me was a BBC. He's a BBC foreign correspondent at the time. I forget Ed, his first name. He still does stuff for the BBC. Big guy, very big guy. Here it's behind me, so he obviously lived in the area. So this is actually where the original entrance was, and you can see, because it says over there on the hoarding, Chelsea Barracks. So I'm not making it up, but it's all very different. And the only thing that remains from the barracks is the original church, which is over in the distance there. Might as well just pause and go and film that. They probably don't let you film down here. But you see, the interesting thing is, it's middle of August, right? There's a hosepipe ban but we've got water here, and all this is being nicely looked after. Whilst the rest of London is parched, and the development that I live on in Stanmore, everything's dying. But we can't have that happen here. So everything is, well, apart from these, everything's fine. Here, you wouldn't notice. Of course, people are obviously paying a lot of money service charge to live here, so couldn't have it looking dead. But it's a different world down here. Here's a little bit of a reference. Potentially, these are ornamental thistles. Is that a reference to perhaps a Scottish regiment that were based here? So this is the old church or chapel. So this is the only part of Chelsea Barracks that is the original bit that still exists. And you can see why they wouldn't pull that down. Because the original barracks buildings were Victorian, and it would have been about the same time as obviously this. Ooh. Very nice stonework and brickwork. I don't know why, I should have had it on wide angle. There we go, that's better. But the original barracks buildings were pulled down in the 60s, and they put up these rather utilitarian looking blocks, barracks blocks. And I remember there was 2 towers actually, which would have been over in this direction. So when I lived here, I think it was coming to the end of its time. The whole point of having the barracks here was that there could be effectively a military garrison not far away from, well, central London. So if the balloon went up, they could call on the troops. But I think it cost them a lot of money to maintain it, so they obviously saw more value in selling it off to the private sector, which it would have been sold, I think it was to the Qataris or the Saudi Arabians, and it went for a shed load of money. And it meant the Ministry of Defence had some money in their pocket. So there we go. And that's not a Land Rover, that was a bloke doing an Uber Eats delivery. Right. So I'm just walking out of the development now and taking me back onto what is Chelsea Bridge Road, if I remember rightly. On the other side of the road is Ranelagh Gardens. There we go. Chelsea Barracks, Mulberry Square. Footway closed. Marvellous. So I don't think this development is actually finished yet, even after all these years. It's still not finished off. It took them a long time to put all this far up, and I think there's still some of the site that needs to be finished off. But anyway, so what we're doing is we're walking down towards what is Chelsea Bridge, and on the other side of the River Thames, which is down there, is Battersea Power Station. So I think that might actually entitle having a separate video. There you go, it's Qatari on the hoarding, so yes, I was right, it was the Qataris. I mean, it's all very nice, it's all very lovely, but it's just money, isn't it? It's just money. And by the way, it's not autumn yet, but the trees are shedding their leaves because it's been too hot. Right, so there we go, see, look, you can see exactly where we are. There. As you're walking up towards Chelsea Gardens, but this is Ebury Bridge Road. And look, I've got a green man, I can cross the road. And this is where I used to live between the year 2000 and the year 2002. And I used to live in Wellington Buildings. So this is Wellington Buildings, this bit. I used to live, I can't remember the number of my flat. Oh, cat. Hello. Yeah, the bin stores there, I remember. So this was the building I lived in, and I was in that one there. Open staircase. Best part of this as I walk out, it was always nice looking like it is. It's always nicely looked after by Peabody and presumably the caretakers that looked after it. It's always very nice, and I think obviously the residents do the same. You see it says Peabody Estate, private property. No hawkers or canvassers or grotty oits from Stanmore. So I'm going to finish off and I'll show you the blue plaque that's on the building, because it tells you, Chelsea Gardens, and here, blue plaque to tell you that Jerome K. Jerome lived here at number 104. How about that? So I'm going to finish off there, and I might just do another little video for you about my Chelsea life, my life in Pimlico. How wonderful. Thanks for watching.